Okay, so before we get started on playing chords, I'd just like to take a moment to explain a little bit about chords to you. Now, I often get asked which is the fastest or the quickest way to learn guitar and things like that. And it's kind of how long is a piece of string, really. It's a difficult one to answer. But what I can say is that in my experience of teaching and things like that, that chords are, in a sense, the quickest way of making sense of the guitar, yeah? I think as a beginner, what you're ultimately trying to do is to get to a point where you're playing your favorite tunes and things like that as quick as possible. And so, but with that in mind, I often find that chords is the way to go, yeah? Now, what are chords? Well, simply put, they're just groups of notes. So whereas, we have a single note, let's say like that, being a single note or whatever, chords are just groups of notes, yeah? So there are several notes at a time. It can be just a couple of notes or whatever, but so you have a C chord, an F chord, a G chord, because they're all groups of notes. Now, this is what we need to kind of master, if you like, and get to grips with. Now, some of the challenges that you can kind of expect when you're doing this are, first off, when you're playing a chord, is to get it to sound correctly. That's the first thing that we're trying to achieve, yeah? To get all the notes sounding clearly. And that's relatively quick, providing that you apply yourself a little bit. You can do that very, very quickly, and you will have the tools to know if something isn't sounding correctly, why that might be, okay? So once we have that side of things mastered, then the next kind of challenge, if you like, is to be able to change from one chord to another. And this is where you really want to apply yourself, yeah? It can just randomly playing various chords, in time. Because once you can change chords and you have a reasonable knowledge of chords, then playing the songs that you like and things will be a very kind of quick process, if you like. So I just thought all that was worth mentioning before we get started on playing some chords. So here we go.